So, in the midst of one of the driest gaming seasons ever, I think ever at this point, because of, COVID and other things, I find myself looking forward to games that we're going to be able to experience, obviously, in the future. With all of the delays and everything else, right now, I find gaming to be dry, and on my last couple of videos, I've pretty much opened to the same sentiment. There is a game that is capturing my interest that is looking to release in 2021, and that's a game called Icarus. I've covered this game on the channel before, and I've basically just been waiting for any sort of information on this new cooperative PvE survival game with up to 8 players, or you can play it completely solo. This game is being developed and published by Rocketworks, which is actually Dean Hall's new studio. Dean Hall, obviously known as the original creator of DayZ. This game is setting itself up to be something that I think a lot of you guys are going to be into. Basically, what's going on is you're going to be able to explore a savage alien wilderness in the aftermath of terraforming gone wrong. And I've been waiting for any sort of information on this game, and they just released this video. It's a documentary style video in which it basically sets up the lore of the world, the lore of the game, and it tells you the gameplay loop in a very genius, almost interstellar intro level. If you guys remember that movie, it's one of my favorite movies of all time. When the intro comes and they're talking about the first, exploration missions, and it's like documentaries of real people. They do the same thing here. I gotta say, the acting and the writing in this is actually really sweet, and it explains the gameplay loop of what this survival co-op game is going to be. You drop down into the world, you try to survive, you can explore this alien landscape, you can craft, and it's basically the survival genre. All the elements are there. You can craft, structures and weaponry, and all of these different resources that you gather can then be sold to improve in your space station, which is basically the hideout from Escape from Tarkov. But the game has one really good twist. How it works is you drop initially with nothing. You have to craft bows and arrows, and you go through that early stage survival gameplay loop, and then you have, let's say, 20 minutes to drop down, craft, gather as much as you can, but then with the weather on these planets, you have to escape. It might be a huge sandstorm. Basically, you have a 20-minute timer in which this natural disaster comes and forces you off the planet. If you're not off the planet, you die and you lose everything that you have. So they're really pushing this narrative of you need to work together as a unit. You have to make sure that you're not getting lost in the world. You have to know when you have to escape. You have to know where you have to escape, and you better be on your shit, because if you die, all of your character's progression and tech is lost to Icarus, which I think is really, really cool. They're saying drop sessions can vary from a couple of hours to maybe even days long, with different missions and different locations and different objectives. So you and your co-op squad choose what you're trying to do, whether it's, go and collect exotic resources, go down there to try and build a structure so that you can protect some of the stuff you grab on your next drop. There's so much stuff, but they say every drop has a clear goal and time limit, but how you overcome its challenges is up to you. And I gotta say, the documentary that they dropped, I strongly urge you guys to watch it, because it really combines the live action and the in-game footage of different animals and stuff on the planet, and it actually explains a lot of the problems that people had with the initial trailer. They said, if you have all of this future tech, you're up in the space station, why are you dropping down with bows and arrows? And that was a lot of what's the point? It makes no sense lore-wise. But they've actually created this thing where basically the first people that went to the planet had nothing. They spent all of their resources and all of their time and money to get there, and then to drop down and get these resources, they had nothing. So it really sets you up basically from the perspective of the early prospectors of this planet Icarus. And I really fuck with what they're doing so far. It looks like they're putting a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of money behind this project. And the cool thing is I know some people who are working on the game. They're part of the community. They originally worked on Dead Matter way back when it was first being showed off on Kickstarter. They went to work at Rocketworks, which I think is pretty fucking cool. Basically, to sum it all up, it's a session-based approach to survival games. It's something new that's coming to the genre. I really just hope that this game stands out above everybody else. The good thing is we don't have to wait much longer for gameplay. They are going to be showing off the world premiere gameplay on April 8th on their official Twitch channel, but we are going to be streaming this so we can get our live reaction to this gameplay. I've been waiting for this for so long, and it's finally the time that we're going to start seeing a lot of these games that I'm kind of anticipating starting to kind of come to fruition, and we get to see more information on all of these things. If you guys aren't following me on Twitch, please do so. We're live Monday to Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern, and we're always trying to grow the community over there as well. I'm reading this article from PC Invasion in which they talk about like the progression system in the game. And PC Invasion basically compared it to an attribute system kind of like Skyrim, in which you are increasing your proficiencies with various tools, equipment, and different actions based on what you actually use in the game. They also have a planetary tech tree, one that lets you craft and create various items and machinery during your session. Fortunately, it's tied to your character, so it's also carried over onto future sessions that you play. And that kind of comes down to when you have to escape the planet, you better be ready to get the fuck out of there, because all of that progression that you earn on that character goes away if you die, which I think actually adds a little bit of flavor to the survival genre on top of everything else. Trying to survive the elements and the creatures that you're going to find on there, you also have to make sure that you're ready to get out in the session. Kind of like raids and Escape from Tarkov, only this time I think there's a lot more at stake. And then there's also this orbital tech tree, which this one relates to all the exotic matter that you've collected, which I guess is like the resource that all of these prospectors are trying to get down, get back to their ship, and then be able to sell, which allows you to then upgrade everything about your character as far as I'm aware. And this lore documentary kind of explains more about it in a really, like I said, well-acted and well-written way. They talk about how the early prospectors were there just to make money. You get down, you could sell that stuff back at the space station for like a little bit of currency, but if you took that exotic matter and sold it for stuff back on Earth, you could buy anything. It's really cool. I just have to stress that I'm very impressed with what they're doing so far marketing wise here. In terms of PvP, they said they're not ruling it out yet. They haven't talked about it yet. I think initially when this game was announced, they were planning PvP, but right now it looks like it's being PvE cooperative focused, which I'm actually okay with. I don't need a PvP experience like this anymore. You have your DayZs, your Tarkovs and stuff like that. I'm looking for something to play with my friends and worry about working together in a cooperative environment like this. I know there's games like The Forest, but I think this game just takes all of those titles and just kind of adds onto it and combines it into like one huge, awesome sci-fi gritty experience. In terms of monetization and pricing, they say that they're working closely with the community via Discord, and the studio is just trying to find the best way to see it fit with the game. So I'm not sure what their plans are. If there's going to be like, I'm going to assume there's no microtransactions or anything like that. But I do want to see how much they're going to charge this game, because I'm assuming it's going to go to early access. I'm not sure on that yet, but I imagine it's going to be that early access survival game. But I think there's something special here. Again, I don't want to get too fucking excited, because we do know the history with games like DayZ and pretty much every survival game that hit early access. It's a long haul, but at least this one's bringing a lot of different things to the table and to the genre. But I want to know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below, and if you guys enjoy the content, please like these videos, man. It helps with the algorithm, helps drive the engagement up, and that way we can get in recommended. We're getting close to 200,000 subscribers, and I want to hit that as soon as humanly possible, and I can't do it without you guys. So I appreciate everybody who clicks on the video. I hope you got some value out of this, and I really do hope to see you guys excited for Icarus, because I'm going to be playing this quite a bit, and if there's enough gameplay content at that early access launch to actually make, continuous content on this game, this is one that I'm really looking forward to. So I appreciate you guys clicking on the video. Leave a like on it. Consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. My name is Bigfry, and I'll see you on the next one.